Listen to the words of the risen Christ. Peace be with you. Come see his hands and the wound in his side. Peace be with you.
Hello and welcome to day 4 of our reflections on the events of Holy Week that we've called The Road to Easter. In recent times, society became familiar with a term known as a Twitter pylon. A Twitter pylon involved joining others online on the platform now known as X to criticise, condemn and often verbally abuse a person for comments they made or a stance they are perceived to have taken. Though in some cases words may have been taken out of context or intentions misread, this kind of public shaming has led to dire consequences, including people losing their jobs and even suicides. The author and speaker Dr. Russell Blackford, who has written about this topic, states, "These types of mobs are just devastating for people, and I don't think those who participate in them fully understand just how destructive they can be. One of the things that worries me is the sheer glee and cruelty that can be shown by these mobs when they're out to destroy people." Although in this form it is a modern invention, the idea of mob mentality and an individual being misrepresented and maligned is as old as the earth, and it is recognisable in the story of Jesus. According to the Gospels, Jesus was tried for blasphemy by the Sanhedrin, but they had no legal authority to put a man to death on this charge, and it is possible that the Roman governor Pilate would not have much interest in internal Jewish religious matters. If the Sanhedrin were to achieve a goal of having Jesus executed, they were going to need to present a different kind of case to Pilate. Perhaps we could summarise the allegations as instigating riotous behaviour, encouraging people not to pay taxes to Caesar, assuming the title of a king. And though none of that may have been true, in that his enemies could present Jesus as a political rival and threat to Caesar. As it may have proved to be in the case of Jesus, and as it has proved to be over the centuries, and as it can prove to be today, lies can be dangerous. I am aware that in wider society, what is referred to as the passion narrative in Scripture is the source of some controversy and difficulty and speculation, and as with all ancient history, it can be very difficult to state with complete confidence exactly what happened 2,000 years ago and 3,000 miles away. Well, I think one of the things this story can teach us is that words can be used responsibly or they can be used recklessly, and as the writer of the Old Testament proverb states, reckless words pierce like a sword. Now, as much as ever, the need for people to try to get the best possible information from the best possible sources and honestly represent the views of others and exercise caution about the information we put out or pass on feels very important. The financier Bernard Baruch said this: "Every man has the right to an opinion, but no man has a right to be wrong in his facts." There is, of course, mystery in the way Jesus allows, perhaps even intends, the course of the Easter events to happen as they do. And we read in the Gospel accounts of Jesus informing Pilate that this Roman governor had in fact no real power over him. Nevertheless, regardless of this, we do see in the character of Pilate in the Gospel accounts a lack of moral courage, seemingly wanting to release Jesus, but bowing to public pressure. Obviously, this would not be the last time a political leader would ignore what was right for personal gain or to satisfy a powerful lobby. nor would it be the last time the court of public opinion got it wrong. From the idea of the earth being flat to women not being allowed to vote to racism and prejudice in all its forms, we have seen time and again that prevailing views can be entirely wrong. And of course, both religion generally and the broad Christian church in particular will also have been guilty in this regard. Mark Twain said, "Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect." A desire to fit in, or just not to be publicly vilified, can be a powerful force for inaction, or for ill. I think the Apostle Paul's exhortation to the church in Rome not to be conformed to this world is relevant and needed in this regard. Throughout history and around the world, there has often been a price tag to following the way of Jesus. That could include a loss of popularity and being on the receiving end of unjustified vitriol. Increasingly, we may need to find the courage to handle this and to fly in the face of popular opinion. In a sermon delivered on Passion Sunday in 1968, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. said, "On some positions, cowardice asks the question, is it expedient? And then expedience comes along and asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? Conscience asks the question, is it right?" There comes a time when one must take the position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular. But he must do it because conscience tells him it is right. May God help us to do what is right and to say what is right, whatever that should mean for us.
Sends me. Listen to the words of the risen Christ.